Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss the war which seems to have been declared between Elon Musk and some prominent MAGA Trump supporters. Who is going to be on the losing end of this one? MAGA cultists who thought Trump was on their side, or Space Karen for getting too big for his boots? But first, for daily political commentary, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. So there's been some interesting right-wing infighting the last couple of days. Badenoch and Farage trading accusations of fake membership numbers, which I'll be talking about in the stream this evening, because the video I did first thing today, that's only a little prelude. There's a lot more to it. And of course, we've had in the last couple of days, Elon Musk attacking prominent MAGA personalities. So before looking at what some of the implications may be, including in the UK, what is this bust up about between Musk and some of MAGA? Well, it's about immigration. The MAGA movement is famously fairly xenophobic at least, racist at worst, with a strong anti-immigration theme. Donald Trump, of course, talking about mass deportations, right? So you can understand how many of them would take exception to Elon Musk saying that restrictions on a particular form of immigration associated with very skilled workers should be lifted. And as I've said before, although the right wing claim to be anti-immigration, in actual fact, the more you believe in capitalism, the more you have to believe in immigration to make it work. Very wealthy business owners with a capitalist mindset ultimately want two things which immigration helps. First, a ready supply of workers in order that they can get away with poorer pay and conditions to maximise profits. Second, lower taxes in order to maximise their own personal income, and lower taxes means lower spending. Well, immigration saves money on a lot of public spending, such as education, state pensions, health and social care. So extremely wealthy business owners and investors, despite what they may say for political purposes, are actually very much in favour of immigration. You know, in fact, Elon Musk is not alone on this. He hasn't just picked a fight with MAGA on his own. He's got allies. Marjorie Taylor Greene has jumped into it, backing Musk as well. I mean, it's no coincidence in the UK, for example, like conservative governments traditionally complain about immigration is too high. Yeah, we'll absolutely bring immigration down. And then when they're in government, immigration carries on rising. You know, and then when we got a much more explicitly anti-immigration government in place to deliver Brexit, what happened? They raised immigration to literally record levels by some distance. How many times does it need pointing out? How much evidence do people need? Right-wing populists tend to support extreme capitalism, and free market capitalists want high levels of immigration just like North. Immigration shouldn't actually be an issue of left and right. There are people on the left and people on the right who get benefits from immigration. So it was no surprise that Musk, whose businesses need a good supply of highly skilled technical workers, would want to ease restrictions on those sorts of visas used for the very workers he needs to keep his businesses thriving. But this was like a red rag to a bull where some in MAGA are concerned. They took to Twitter to attack Musk's proposals, and then he hit back. He clobbered multiple MAGA accounts, but that of Laura Luma became the most widely circulated. Luma is a prominent MAGA social media influencer with over 1 million followers on Twitter alone. She is open about being basically a white supremacist and Islamophobe. And I don't just mean she posts anti-Muslim content. I mean, she's described herself specifically using the term Islamophobe. She's like, I am an Islamophobe. There's none of this, I'm not racist, but about her. She's going, no, I'm absolutely racist and proud of it. Well, Musk restricted her account so that it basically couldn't post anything. He said to her, right, you can DM other people, you know, but you can't post anything. You can look at other people's posts, but you can't do your own. So much for the champion of free speech, yeah? I noticed that the restrictions seem to have been lifted today because she's spending every tweet attacking Musk's influence and insisting that Trump is in charge. She's really getting grated by this President Musk stuff. I wonder how she's going to feel about Trump in a year's time. Because what we've got here is an anti-foreigner MAGA cultist who clearly doesn't respect Musk, which is no great surprise. Musk isn't naturally aligned with MAGA principles. He just thinks he's using them for his own acquisition of mega wealth, much like Trump is. In the past, Trump has said he supports the Democrats because they were just better with the economy. But of course, when he made the transition from acquiring wealth sort of legitimately to naked corruption, the Republicans were the only vehicle he could use, so he switched. Same thing with Musk, really. If you want to run a business fairly, in America, you vote Democrat. If you want to steal your fortune, it's not enough to vote Republican. You've got to make sure you're in control of that Republican government. But Luma thinks that Trump is on her side. Has it not occurred to her that despite what Musk is saying about lifting restrictions on immigration and the way he throttled dissension on Twitter from the MAGA faithful, Trump still retains Musk as a key member of his project? If she thinks Musk is a threat to MAGA and she thinks Trump is in charge, why is Musk in such a senior advisory role? And what's interesting here is how this could play out in 2025. I'd already noted how some of Trump's close family don't like Musk and how all the talk of him being the power behind the throne is going to grate on Trump. In fact, we've seen signs of this already with Trump saying, no, Elon Musk, he can't be president because he was born in America, you see. And I'm like, mate, if that's what you're having to fall back on, that suggests you're a little bit concerned, or at least concerned about the narrative which is building. If influential MAGA campaigners also have it in for Musk, then Space Karen is gathering a lot of enemies right now. Now, as I've said, he's got his allies as well, because the mega wealthy, remember, there's a difference between the MAGA supporters who are or were just vaguely ordinary people, and then you've got the mega wealthy MAGA backers who are backing MAGA for their own purposes, but they don't align with those views. So there is a real war going on here. Like I cited Marjorie Taylor Greene just earlier. I suppose in a sense, we should probably be with Musk on this specific issue, shouldn't we? Like, he's effectively defending economic immigration. He's going to war with openly racist MAGA groups and individuals, except we know he's only doing it so he can become a trillionaire. I mean, watching this fight, it's a little bit like watching a fight between Hitler and Putin. You go, well, who do you support? And you just go, right, I just hope they knock each other out, really, rather than backing one side or the other. But with Musk acting like a law unto himself, like, you wonder how quickly this is going to come to serious blows. I mean, Trump hasn't even been inaugurated yet, and there's full-blown war within his own camp. What's it going to be like if Trump goes ahead with some of Musk's policies, which upset the MAGA cult? Or will Musk end up being dropped by Trump for getting a bit too big for his boots? And this has implications in the UK as well. See, I've talked about how risky this all is for Farage. At the moment, Farage is riding high, but that's down to a few little factors that are not likely to persist in a few years' time. Farage prizes his relationship with Trump. Like when Trump was shot at, Farage, remember, he rushed off to America, did it twice. He wanted his photo. Oh, I just want to be with my friend, show solidarity. Well, he's on the phone, mate. But he couldn't get him. He couldn't get a meeting with him. He couldn't get what he wanted was the photo opportunity with the bandaged ear. And he couldn't get it. And when he was being asked it, he got visibly irritated when he was like, oh, when you meeting old Donald then? I don't know. Are you going to be meeting him? I'm not sure. Similarly, when Trump mentioned him by name during his last election rally, Farage looked like a dog with two tails. But he's also fostering ties with Musk. Musk is using Twitter to promote Reform UK directly, explicitly, as well as amplifying their talking points. He may also donate a huge sum of money to Farage. We don't know yet. If the Musk-Trump relationship blows up, the divorce could be very messy for Farage. He'll try and be diplomatic, I suppose, but it's hard to see how he doesn't have to pick a side because people are going to ask him. Choose Trump and he potentially loses amplification on Twitter and a potential source of donations. If there's like a real divide between Trump and Musk, I can't ever imagine him saying that Trump got something wrong. And if Trump casts Musk off during 2025 and then shits the bed in terms of governing in 2026, then it's the worst of all worlds for Farage. He loses Musk's support. Then his own support for Trump backfires if they lose control of the narrative. The main problem with the far right is that their real motivations are at odds with the motivations of the masses whose support they gather. It means that their governments are always very messy. And if you can't walk that fine line that sort of keeps people on board, these MAGA wars are going to result in casualties. Musk is probably the most likely to lose, but the reverberations could do Farage a lot of damage as well. Unless, of course, they're all emotionally mature enough to compromise with one another because they're stronger together. But political activism and emotional maturity rarely go hand in hand, and you certainly don't see much evidence of it within the MAGA cult. I think this could get very spicy. And all of you who have left Twitter are going to be missing out on some fireworks next year. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for listening, and until next time, I'll see you later.